leap of faith.
This is the way. Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Tells me you're relentless.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optix, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network, where we discuss film, TV, and everything pop culture related. I am your host, Christian. I'm joined by the man himself and a special guest here today, Leo from Geekly Goods. And today we're going to be diving into a lot, starting off with our Black Widow review and kind of diving into our best or our top films of 2021 thus far. But before we begin today's show, you can listen to our podcast on platforms around the internet. And if you're a new or seasoned listener, you can, just kind of follow. I always mess up on that part, I swear to God. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Film Optix to let us know what you guys think of the show. I wanted to start off by welcoming Leo from Geekly Goods. How are you doing today, man?
Dude, I'm doing so good. You know, I'm feeling like I'm in Ant-Man right now because you guys can't see it, but in Zencaster, like, corners your video and makes you smaller. So I'm like, man, I'm going to the quantum realm, y'all. But feeling good today, feeling good. You know, just ready to talk some Black Widow because, man, this is our first time back seeing a Marvel movie in over 2 years, guys. Like, What a cool occasion it is. Ooh,
very excited. Yeah, like it's been a while since we've used Zencaster, since it's usually just me and Devin, so we just hop on Discord and do our thing. But you know, we like to share the love, and we have more people on, and it makes it easier for me to edit towards the end. So that's a lot of fun. And we also have Devin, the man himself, my co-host. How are you doing today, man?
Doing good. Looks like Leo and I got the memo for MCU apparel.
Wow. Okay. Well, this isn't a live podcast, so but
well,
no,
they should know you're wearing a gray shirt with no Marvel character.
No logo, y'all.
It's actually blue, but
oh, it looks great.
Interesting.
It's because of the ring light. Thank you, iCarly, for the ring light.
And that amazing snack package.
Honestly, dude, I destroyed that cookies and cream popcorn. Like,
I'm ashamed to say I tore it up in one night, my man.
I was trying to savor it. It didn't make it past like 2 nights, dude. The gummy bears, I like half of them, and then I gave the rest like my sister because I can eat gummy bears, just not like that. But they were good. It was a nice little treat to have for sure. But yeah, so today we're going to be kind of diving in to our Black Widow review. First, going to kind of, give the people what they want on the front end because we're just that nice. So Leo and I actually saw it at home the first time around. But hey, that's okay. Actually, Leo, I wanted to show you a nice little feature here that I found. We're going to get high as it's a swear. It's
oh my God.
Amazing.
That is
love
amazing.
This. It's phenomenal. It came with a nice.
Sounds like mind control to me.
Well, it came with a nice little update, like I told Devin before, and I was just like, yes, like I have to use this as much as I possibly can. But yeah, so let's get straight into our Black Widow review right after this. All right, and we are back for a Black Widow review. And don't worry, guys, I haven't forgot about the most important part. Like, I really got to hype us up here. So let me start that over. This is our Black Widow review. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Natasha. Yelena. Other widows.
Leo's like, I didn't hear this one before. I thought he was going to play the trap music. Fear not. Right. It's all here. It is all here, and it's all good. we're just having a great old time. But I wanted to get straight into this because it's been forever since we've had a Marvel movie in theaters, nearly over a year. This movie has really just, man, how many times has it been pushed back?
It's escaped us so many times. It's just been in our grasps and it just slips away.
We were so close in May. It was supposed to come out May earlier this year, right? Yeah. And then they were like, oh, well, we don't know if we're going to put it on, streaming or if we're going to do a hybrid thing or if it's just going to be only in theaters. I thought it was going to be only in theaters, but it looks like they kind of surprised us there. So I really don't know how the box office is going to look whatsoever, but I'm just very, very excited that Marvel movies are back in theaters. And this is my second time seeing it. Leo, have you seen it a second time yet?
No, and I'm upset. Like, I wish I would have got to catch it today in the theaters, but not yet.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I gotta lie. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie. Watching it at home the first time, like, it does kind of suck, but I will say the number one thing is if they just got rid of that, that giant little watermark in the middle of the screen and moved it somewhere else, I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. So it's more of a suggestion, Disney Plus. Please.
You know what? I'm just grateful to get the opportunity.
I am definitely grateful. Don't get me wrong. It's just a small little nitpick I have. If not, I don't control this stuff, but just a suggestion more so. But let's start off with Devin really quick. Get your quick thoughts, your first initial reactions before we kind of dive into the spoilers, since this is literally your first time seeing the movie.
Oh yeah, fresh blood. I loved it, like start to finish, all of it. Like, and I was saying it all along. I was telling you guys, Florence Pugh will save the day, and she was just the star of the show unequivocally. I just loved it.
That's really, really great to hear. I was actually very worried about what Devin was going to think. Because
you're the one that doesn't like spy movies, so I'm curious what you think.
Well, you might be a little surprised here. I'm not going to lie.
What?
Okay, like when it comes to like Jason Bourne, I don't care for Jason Bourne.
This was very Jason Bourne-like in some ways.
This is Bourne Identity, Jason Bourne. This ain't the Bourne Legacy and all that mess.
Yeah, this is the clean Bourne.
Yeah, them later Bournes. Whew. I'm gonna be real. After Bourne Identity, it just goes downhill.
Yeah, I stopped.
Much like the Fast and Furious franchise after Fast 7.
Ooh, well, I don't know. Hobbs and Shaw was a peak.
Yeah,
Hobbs and Shaw was a peak in the road, but I don't know about the rest.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I'm really glad that you liked it, Devin. Let me pass this over to Leo really quick, because I know he is a huge Marvel show, as are we all, to be completely honest.
I also just wanted to say I saw it in an IMAX theater.
Oh, did you?
Dolby is so much better. Like, I didn't even notice. They said 22 minutes of extra wide footage or something. Didn't even notice.
Leo, really quick, before we get into your quick thoughts, where do you land on the IMAX versus Dolby debacle? Or do you just
I don't have a preference, to be honest. I probably like IMAX maybe a smidge more, but
okay.
Honestly, both experiences are better than just a regular screen. So
it doesn't help that AMC IMAX has really bad chairs.
That is
at least the ones I've been to.
Yeah. Oh no! Now they ain't got the recliner seats at some of these.
Oh, not for me.
Not for me either. That's why we
get auditorium seats in our high school auditorium.
The 7th grade seats.
Them chairs that are just stiff as a brick. Yes. Like you can't even rock back. It's like, dog.
Like, you can kind of like lean back in mine, but like they're still like at the core audience, like those 7th grade auditorium chairs.
Yeah. Thank you for flying on Frontier type chairs. Like, damn.
Spirit
Airlines. Welcome. Let me take your ticket.
Yep. I'll be experiencing them later on in the year, so that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, so we're usually Dolby boys over here just because we love the recliner seats. I do like IMAX, but there's something
I guess it just depends. And if IMAX had the seats near me, then I guess it would be a lot closer.
Yeah, I do agree for sure. So back to Leo here. So give me your first thoughts about Black Widow.
Oh my goodness. So I think coming off of it, I was on a big Marvel high. Like I was like, look, hearing that Marvel theme again on a movie, because we've heard it throughout WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but you had something to come back to the next week. Hearing it for the first time right before a movie, like got
So
me
much hype.
absolute hype.
Imagine that in a theater too.
Oh my God. Well, all right, Devin, brag it up.
Yeah,
I'm going tomorrow, man.
A full theater with everyone surrounding you.
Oh my
Just
gosh, I'm
feel
so
that
excited to check
energy.
it out again. It's just honestly, Marvel movies are a big phenomenon in the sense that they are the first to just accomplish this massive universe. But going back to Black Widow, absolutely love Florence Pugh in this movie. And look, that's not to say anything against Scarlett Johansson and her performance as Natasha Romanoff, because I thought she killed it as well.
Yeah, she's great. We know to expect. She's great.
Of course. But Florence Pugh is really good in this role. I mean, she just demands great camera presence. She's quippy, she's funny, but you know when to take her serious. She has great control of her expressions and the way she expresses herself through her character. Just really, really well done. I like, seriously, I am so excited for Marvel to take this star. I mean, heck, at this point, we all know Florence Pugh, and just roll with her and bring her into more movies and more shows in the MCU. We already know where this is going next. I don't know if we're diving into spoilers quite yet, but we already know where we're rolling on in the next movie. And it's just great to see her really do such a great job this time around. And also the other cast members are great as well. Rachel Weisz, remind me the dude.
David Harbour.
Yeah, David Harbour. Great,
I love the casting in this movie. It's also perfect.
And I know some complaints were that Rachel didn't really get a lot of screen time, but typically in a Marvel movie, somebody's going to have to be sacrificed in terms of the screen time. So she ended up being the one without the most. But I just really enjoy myself. Some of the CGI gets pretty messy towards the end, but I had a fun time. And I know there are complaints out there about it being maybe a little formulaic and not the best Marvel movie. I would agree it's middle of the pack, but it's still fun. It's still good. I would say the action's a little bit unbalanced. I think that the beginning of the movie, very action heavy, kind of like a Marvel movie. I mean, Civil War did this, but they seem to weave in the action a little bit more in Civil War and in the Captain America, the Winter Soldier. That's going to be really tough to remember. But Captain America, the Winter Soldier, the second Cap movie, they do another great job of just tethering action in so well with the dialogue and with other scenes. Here, I think it kind of leaned heavy in the beginning, heavy in the end, not so much in the middle. And I think I wanted more of that sprinkle effect that Marvel knows how to do so well in Avengers, Cap movies, Thor movies. Like I wanted some more action.
Okay.
I think the question is, as far as Florence Pugh goes, did she get one of those beefy 10-year Marvel contracts, or was that before they terminated those?
Yeah, I'm like, y'all already know. Look, it's BS. This is not for the current people they're working with. I think this is past the phase 4 and the next few phases. No freaking way can you tell me that Florence Pugh doesn't have a contract for 4 or 5 or 6 movies. The person in the post credit, just going to keep it there. That person definitely has 4 or 5.
That had quite the reaction
movies.
In my theater. That was really interesting.
Good reaction or
a lot of confusion, I would say.
Ooh.
I feel like people aren't up to date on the shows. That might be why.
Okay. So my experience going in, of course, like I said, the first time I watched it was at home, and I literally just got back from the theater as well, just because I had to see it a second time. You know, it's always important, especially for us critics, to kind of, you know, it's easy to tell someone else to go support these movies in theaters. While, you know, there are a lot of us who are, I guess, more privileged or fortunate enough to watch these at home for essentially no extra cost. But it is important to, you know, really support your local theater. So like any time that I see a movie at home, like I always plan to see it like that weekend on the big screen, because like it is a different experience. And I think the second time around, I really did enjoy it. Like, I mean, I loved it the first time. But like I really, really enjoyed it the second time around. There's a lot of things I didn't really catch the first time with being at home. But yeah, I had a great time with this. Like you guys said, you know, Florence Pugh absolutely steals the show. I really love the family aspect of this movie, and they really make you like care for these characters.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like it fits so well in between. This movie fits so well in between like Civil War and Infinity War. Like they introduce like new villains and stuff, but it's not like a grand scale. Like they don't try to retcon anything. Like it is very just, I can't even call this a prequel because I know a lot of people are calling it that. This is more of like a middle ground thing, because can we really call it a prequel if it, fits in between, the phase 1 through 3? Yeah, phase 1 through 3 storyline. It's great. And I can't wait to see where they, this does set up for future projects because of the post-credit scene, which we'll get here in a bit. But yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it. Like,
yeah, that's what everyone was wondering. Like, how are they going to make a movie work with a dead character?
I mean, they did it with Anakin in Star Wars, so
I agree. They pulled it off. They always balanced past, present, and future perfectly, and they did it here again.
Yeah,
just threading that needle.
Yeah, they really, really did. So, all right, I feel like we're ready to we're warmed up here to start talking about the spoilers. So, are you guys ready for that?
Oh yeah,
let's just dive on in. All right.
Oh yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now we are in the spoiler section again.
Where do we begin?
Yo, I'm just gonna start from the end, guys. Like Julia Louis-Dreyfus popping up was amazing.
There were a lot of WTFs in the theater.
Yeah,
what's Elaine on the screen?
Yeah, I was curious to hear about that because I was chatting with the Cinemania group and a lot of them didn't really like it because it was a bit of a tone shift. I kind of liked it because I felt like, okay, we get this very hard moment where we see Yelena walking up to Natasha's grave, really sad, a last little goodbye for Black Widow. Then you hear this like somebody blowing their nose. Like I just think that's so Marvel.
Yeah. I'm allergic to the Midwest.
I love that moment. What's that?
She said I'm allergic to the Midwest.
Yeah, I love. I mean, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Honestly, you put her in anything, I'm sold.
She's not even in that many things too. That's what makes it so crazy.
Veep, Lorraine. Can you name much else? I mean, there's plenty more, but
yeah,
she's known for those two things. But it's just, I think that was an awesome appearance. But you bring up a good point, Devin. It sounds like people were confused.
Yeah, I think the casual viewers haven't really been caught up on Falcon and the Winter Soldier to realize that she exists.
This was supposed to come out first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, and it kind of actually works that it came out second. Because I think it would have been honestly more confusing for me, at least, seeing this and then being like, "Wait, she's sending Yelena after Hawkeye."
Yeah, it makes it a worse end credit scene.
Yeah,
yeah.
If it was in that order.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about Taskmaster?
I still don't know how to feel about the reveal.
Who are you guys expecting? Is what I
like that it wasn't anybody expected or guessed. I like that, but it also at the same time that's kind of a flaw because it's like, who is this person at the end of the day?
Yeah, I think what I thought it was Rachel Weisz who was.
For a second, I thought it was too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I thought Taskmaster was Rachel Weisz, but I love the idea. Don't like the execution. I think even if this had been something that was haunting Natasha.
If they established Captain it before America this movie.
2, yeah, like even if we had gone back to Captain America 2, Avengers Age of Ultron, and this was just something that had been haunting her for a while. Oh my gosh, since we're in spoilers, I killed this little girl, yada yada. Like something that had been haunting her through the MCU movies, I would have bought it and I would have loved it because
that's another
a nice surprise.
That's another overarching issue that I saw is whenever Natasha and Hawkeye talked about Budapest, it was always like fondly and like jokingly, but you killed a child. Why are you?
Right.
It kind of like doesn't really mix well with what they established before.
A little problematic, like maybe not joke about that one.
Yeah, well, you had David Harbour coming out saying like, he was proud of his girls, even though it was like a fake family.
You killed so many people.
My theater literally ate that up. I didn't stay for the second credit scene with Yelena afterwards because I had to come back here
Yeah.
record because I looked.
I was also going to bring that
"Ooh."
up. I love how everybody is just trained by the MCU to just wait for the entire credits. Just in that theater, no one left, not even
Yeah.
one person.
I was literally
It's like
maybe
we're
1 in 5.
brainwashed.
And, you know,
Honestly,
people-
it happens in more than even Marvel movies now. Like,
Yeah.
you'll just see big blockbusters. People are chilling. And then,
Fast and Furious, apparently. I didn't stay for that one. Fast 9.
yeah, it had a post credit, and
It
it was the
did.
best part of the movie.
Great.
Leo.
I mean, I'm just being real. Like, I'll be honest here. When the post credit came up, me and like several other people started like clapping because it was like, oh my god, finally a
Yeah.
refreshing like moment in this movie.
So,
Yeah.
I guess besides the reveal of Taskmaster, what did you guys think of the actual design and like character? I thought it was badass.
I thought it was cool, but going back to the reveal really quick, I just thought like it made like I guess for me it made sense because it wasn't like the super big bad person. It was someone within, you know, within Scarlett or excuse me, Natasha's past. But I do agree that they should have sprinkled everything. Obviously, you know, this is better late than never that we're actually getting a Black Widow movie. But I thought it was like fine. Like I wasn't like over the moon, but I don't know who else would have been as a reveal. I was like, oh, okay, it's just like the big bad was, you know, the guy who ran the Red Room. But I mean, you know, he's just this big kind of Italian.
Another
mob.
suit.
Yeah,
Just like they
another
did in
suit.
Captain America 2.
Yeah, but I really like how they, you know, his pheromones, how like none of the widows can like physically harm him because of his pheromones. I thought that was really cool. But
As soon
we'll
as I
get
heard
into
that, I was like, break that nose, girl.
But sorry, Devin, go ahead. I did not mean to cut you off.
I really liked the design of Taskmaster overall. He had like the Terminator vibes, just like constantly chasing him, just always right there. Also Sub-Zero vibes, just the way he was silently stalking in the new Mortal Kombat. But I always love the silent, like just kind of scary antagonist that just chases you everywhere.
What do you got? How would you guys felt if it was like just like a robot? Like I felt like that would have been.
I mean,
way more
it
lame.
basically was.
That would have been worse.
She didn't
And
have a brain,
that's-
really.
Yeah, that's kind of
She's
how they
alive.
executed it. And I wasn't
know
a
she
big
did.
fan. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I'll be real. Like,
The
that
villain
was
was
probably the biggest letdown for me is because the Taskmaster is like this character, Anthony Masters in the comics, who his actual ability and superpower is to photogenically remember every fighting style that he comes across and he can copy it within like seconds of seeing it. And I wanted to see that. I wanted to see so much more of that, him like mimicking. And I feel like we got one scene of her looking at footage.
Yeah.
And I just thought, okay, this really takes away from it. I would have loved if there was like a flashback when maybe they were staking out and they saw the Avengers and Taskmaster was learning all these moves. I would have loved to see more Taskmaster actually being Taskmaster, because to me, it was just a robot assassin. It was like you were saying, Devin, it was like the Terminator, but Taskmaster ain't like that. And Taskmaster, in my opinion, is a better and bigger villain than just this kind of cyborg lackey who's just second fiddle to this suit. I just think a little bit of a missed opportunity, but they could also bring the mantle
I was
back.
just going to bring that.
There's
I was just going to
opportunity.
bring that up. Like, do we think he could, or I guess she could just be? I mean, it could just be anybody if they have the suit and the technology, right? They could bring him
I
back.
mean, I guess so. I mean, it seems that she was still conscious for like after the antidote like kind of hit her. So it seems that she's still there. I was actually more like interested to see how she survived that explosion because I was like, you should have been burnt to a crisp.
Well,
but-
did she survive, or was she just dead and they just like put stuff in her brain?
I don't know. They didn't really touch on that, but I do agree with both of your guys' points. I do wish the villain was a little bit more. I mean, like it was personal, yes, for Black Widow, but for the audience, they could have done better
it
with
didn't mean
Taskmaster.
much for us because
Yeah.
we didn't know who she was.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. But yeah, I do agree with that point. But yeah, the villain was okay, but so speaking of when Leo was saying that Rachel Weisz didn't get that too much screen time, but there was also another character.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. It's really confusing to me. The Mason character.
He was just
What are they trying
there.
to what are they trying to set up with that? Because he got so much screen time.
Yeah. The black
The
guy.
friend, like the
the
connect that
yeah,
she
I was
had.
like, is this supposed to be like a thing? Like,
Because
are they
everyone
an
thought he was going to
item?
be Taskmaster going into the movie. Like that was a big theory that he was Taskmaster, just because no one knows who he is.
That would have been lame.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would have
know.
been horrible.
I would have been like,
Yeah.
who is this person?
Yeah, I was like, are they like? I couldn't tell. I was like, are they an item?
They
Like,
were
at
kind of
first.
flirting, and then at the
Yeah.
end, he gets friend zoned and he hates it.
Yeah, that was
I don't
very
know.
confusing. I was like, all right.
Because I feel like Marvel always has a plan, and to give him this much screen time, there's got to be something else to it, but I can't figure it out.
maybe he's next to the power broker with Sharon Carter. Was she the power
Yeah.
broker? Yeah.
Yeah.
What a stupid reveal that ended up being.
I mean, I like Sharon Carter. I was just like, you guys are I can't get behind that.
Barely any build up at all, and I know it was the theory around the town, and it was convincing. It was definitely you could see it coming, but it just was executed so poorly.
Ooh, Kingpin would have been nice.
Could you imagine Vincent D'Onofrio like being the guy, like her just jumping on the phone and being like, "All right, I got the blah blah blah," and he just turned around in that chair.
You embarrassed me in front of us all.
When he slammed homeboy's head in that damn car, you knew Kingpin was not playing when
I was
that
like,
happened.
okay, not your normal villain. Let's go. Yeah.
But back on Black Widow, a couple other issues I had. The second act was dragged, y'all. It was another, in my opinion, and I would say, this is weird to say, but it's the first half of the second act. It's like half of the second act is kind of just dragging because you have the same problem they have with Captain Marvel, where they just sew every character into this one setting for so long. And I'm like, okay, this is what's good about the Captain America and Thor movies. Everybody's constantly on the move. They go from setting to setting to setting. Like here, it was just like, oh,
are you talking about like the dinner
cabin.
table?
Yeah.
For me, I liked it.
That
I liked it
scene.
just because Florence Pugh and David Harbour just really carried it. Just the way
I see, and I
their
like
chemistry.
that bit with them, but like I feel like the dinner table is dragged on maybe a little long, and some of the other stuff, the pigs and all that. I'm like, come on now, like
I do love that she named it Alexei.
Alexei.
That was
that was funny.
That was good.
You don't see the resemblance? Yeah, I personally like that because I guess for me it was more of just like a little bit of a breather, but it's not like
it was
like,
also showing them like connecting again and just regaining that bond.
Yeah, I love like heavy dialogue scenes like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, I love a good action scene, and you know, Florence Pugh and Scarlett Johansson really. I mean, their fight was, I was like, oh my God, like they were like really getting into it. But yeah, I really just like the dialogue heavy scene. And I think that scene itself was really what made me care for these characters, especially with the intro of the entire movie and the remake of the song that they did. Like that was just,
I was just gonna say that I thought that opening credit was so cool,
so clever. Like I was like, oh, I could watch this on literally repeat.
They got Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, remix.
So good.
It was really long too. That feels like it never happens in a Marvel MCU movie. Like a really long opening credit.
Yeah, I loved it.
And
it was a great
I,
opening too. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, and I thought the whole like little opening, kind of dipping back in the chop. I was like, this was done well. Like
that opening was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just like launches it right into it.
Yeah, great way to step into the movie and not drag too long with that. It was about 8-9 minutes, maybe. Like not drag on too long with all that. Cruella might have been a minute or two too long, but this was definitely like on point. And
it just like straps you right in.
I just wish the action was a little more balanced, just a little more. Like I felt it was top heavy and bottom heavy, and then nothing.
How did you? Well, I guess like what do you mean by balance? Like
I wish that it was sprinkled in throughout the movie a little bit more. I think you had a hand to hand with Natasha and Yelena. You had Yelena retrieving the little capsule.
Yeah.
You had Taskmaster go attack Natasha. Then we don't even see Taskmaster again, do we?
Not for a while.
Towards
the very end. Yeah.
So some like Taskmaster, in my opinion, needed to pop back up once or twice. David Harbour in that prison scene, I was like, why is he not like beating down on some of these guys? Like it just kind of felt
Red Guardian.
right. I'm like, this is a guy that's like, I'm Captain America's enemy, even though Cap has no idea who he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. He
It's
came
just
first,
like-
didn't he? Didn't Red Guardian come first, technically?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
no. Cap
Or-
was World War One, two.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm getting my
Why am
facts
I
mixed
blanking?
up.
Is it World War One?
What? I read. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, World War.
I mean, World War II was the Nazis.
Yeah, no, I think it was World War II.
That's right, because Hydra.
Yeah.
Hail Hydra.
Yeah,
That was
Hydra.
some-
Yeah. It was the
Not
Jet-
even pop-out shit.
punching in Hitler. That was
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
classic.
yep.
That's what it
So,
was.
yep, it's World War II.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I was trying to scramble through my brain and like find something. I'm like, what is it? And then
It's like
perfectly
it's
said.
old, but how old is it? Yeah, I know what you mean though. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, it was just a great ride overall. Like I'm really happy that Scarlett Johansson finally got her movie.
Yeah, especially after Iron Man 2, where she started. Like going back and watching that, it's just like the disrespect. Like she was just like she was nothing. She was just.
I mean, I know the
just
side character.
eye
yeah.
candy.
Yeah, and I think she actually commented on that.
Yeah, she
for
did.
a while. And it's just really nice to finally get a more grounded story with her. You know, it's a tale of a fallen hero, an exciting story of a fallen hero, if you will.
I will say that I think it would have worked better if it came out in Captain Marvel spot or right after Civil War.
Yeah,
do
that's
agree.
definitely the
I do
biggest
agree.
complaint that I've seen is that it's just too late. Like it really should have come out earlier, and there's
And-
no really debating that.
And Natasha kind of gets sidelined a little bit. Like I thought
Because
she did a
Florence
great
does
job.
steal the
Don't-
show, obviously.
Yeah, Yelena steals the show, and then you've got David Harbour, and you've got Rachel Weisz. Like you've got these big heads, you know what I mean? And it's like, she gets kind of sidelined every now and then. Like some scenes, she's just not the character. Like in the cabin, I did like the interaction between Yelena and David Harbour's character, the Red Guardian, more than I liked her and Rachel Weisz. So
Yeah.
it's just like
Oh, yeah.
sometimes she kind of got pushed aside in her own movie, and I'm like, man, give her a little more, y'all, a little more.
And that's one thing that we know she lives, and that's one thing that has an impact on that because we don't really care what she's going through because she's going to live. There's no stakes. But for Yelena, on the other hand, when she tried to sacrifice herself, I was freaking out. I was going to be so mad.
You have to give me Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Hawkeye.
Do not die.
Oh
Like-
man, I can't wait to see her in Hawkeye.
So is it confirmed she's in Hawkeye? Or I think I remember seeing that.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
that was
Yeah.
that.
I'm pretty sure she
post
is.
credit locked it in. Like she's definitely in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Just see a picture of Clint Barton. I was like,
He's a cutie, isn't he?
he was like, hey.
Right? Like,
I thought it
look,
was gonna
y'all,
be a picture of him and his
Clint
family.
representing.
Okay, picture this. We're gonna get a Haley Steinfeld versus Florence Pugh battle at some point.
Oh my god,
Just
dude.
picture that.
For the longest time for
Ooh.
Haley Steinfeld, everyone's like, is she gonna be in Hawkeye? Is she gonna play Kate Bishop? And everyone's like, oh, I don't know. And then she's like, yeah, it's real.
Just
She probably
imagine
couldn't say
that
anything until
them
certain
squaring off. Oh my.
Oh my god, save She-Hulk and Moon Knight. I'm definitely like that's the most. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that the most. Besides those two.
I almost forgot about those shows. We have so much. We got the What If series trailer today, so that was a lot of fun too.
And that drops in August. So check this
Yes,
out, guys. We
perfect.
have What If in August, Shang-Chi in September. I want to say Hawkeye is going to drop in October because
Probably.
And then November's Eternals, December Spider-Man. We are Marvel locked.
That Eternals trailer in the theater was so much better in the theater.
Did it play in your guys' theater? It did not play.
Yeah.
It did not play.
It looked amazing on the big screen.
I didn't get what other? Oh, I got Jungle Cruise for Disney. I was actually looking forward to like another Space Jam trailer, but they didn't even show it. I
It's
was like,
too late for that.
it
It's
would've
coming
been
out next
perfect.
week.
No,
I mean-
that's a good time. I think.
Yeah, I mean, Jungle Cruise comes out towards the end of July too, so I
But
don't
it's a
know.
Marvel movie. They like, nah, we ain't gonna promote that bullshit.
Yeah, they don't like more.
I got Snake Eyes trailer.
I don't know what to think about that one. I like.
Oh,
Henry
I did get
Golding.
Shang-Chi though. I did get Shang-Chi. That's right.
Ooh, I bet
Yeah.
that looked good.
It was
The
great.
the graphics and marketing for Snake Eyes looks exactly the same as Black Widow. Exactly the same.
Yeah, the color scheme's very similar.
The logos, the posters. I'm like,
Everything.
dang, this somebody just said, wow, I've been inspired. Oh my God, I'm going to make an original piece. And it looked the exact same, though.
That was a decent trailer, though.
It was. I mean, I'll go see it because of Henry Golding. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah, I do love me some Henry Golding, but I don't know.
The next Bond? Question mark.
See, I would like him in that better than this. Because
this is an irrelevant franchise for the most part.
It's unnecessary. It's like, why are we digging up G.I. Joe and saying, yeah, let's give the most mysterious character who doesn't talk, who has a fucking face mask on, we're gonna give him an origin story. Him.
Yeah.
It's just like, really?
It's a
Why
trend
him?
now. It's a trend to give these anti-heroes, their due. And even with Don't Breathe 2, it's
the anti-villain.
He's an anti-villain, which sounds
I
like
heard some weird stuff about what he did in the first movie, and I'm like, why are we like rooting for him?
Have you not seen it?
I don't know about.
It's very. The second trailer is the second movie trailer is very confusing if you see the first movie.
I've been spoiled about the stuff he does in the first movie. And I'm like, why are we following this character? Like,
he's a good guy, like he was just going through some stuff. Man, oh man. But yeah.
But what did you guys think of the second like face mask reveal thing that they have done in the MCU here?
I actually like,
I like this one was much better, I think, than the first one.
From Winter Soldier. Yeah, so sorry. Got a little bit of a tangent from Black Widow, but that's okay.
Wait. What face mask?
The face mask reveal.
The mask technology where they have the
face swap.
The fake face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he was asking, what did you think about it in Black Widow compared to like Winter Soldier?
I don't think it's going to get any better than Captain America 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, Devin, you got.
I thought
are we
it was
talking
better
about
in this
unmasking, y'all? I'm sorry, I'm totally lost.
Like when
the mask comes off.
Yeah, when Yelena or when Natasha was.
Excuse me. I thought we were talking about characters demasking themselves. I was Bucky with that mask dropping
that was awesome. Yeah,
but
I'm talking
the
about
face swap was cool. I thought it threw me off. Honestly,
it really did. I was like, all right, Rachel Weisz is evil. Fine, I get it. But then they immediately switched it on you.
I was like, okay, yeah, like I definitely like that face swap technology more in Black Widow than in Captain America 2. Like, it was cool in Captain America 2, but like this one, I was like,
was there a face swap in Cap 2?
I don't remember which was it. Civil War? Or
no, it was Winter Soldier. It was with Natasha.
It was Natasha, and it was
someone
another
else.
lady, like a senator or something.
Yeah, when she tricked Bucky.
Yeah,
that was tight.
And then Sharon Carter did it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I was like genuinely surprised with Black Widow. I was like, oh wow, like okay, I did not see that coming whatsoever. So,
that was a good twist.
That was a nice one. I was like, okay, so because I was confused when Rachel Weisz's character said, when they're after the dinner table and they kind of like split off into their own dialogue scenes, and she had told Natasha that I alerted the Red Room and they're going to be on their way here soon, and Natasha, she didn't react like, what? Like, how could you do that? Blah, 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 blah. It was more of like a planned thing. I was like, I loved it. And David Harbour was just like left out of the entire thing.
He's not important.
Poor David. He was like, you know.
It's a good thing he's funny because he does nothing else.
Yeah. She was like, she can't hear you. He's like, what? He's like, you don't have an earpiece.
I know, when he just started talking, I'm like, look at this dude, y'all.
He's pouring his heart out for David.
Yeah, I knew as soon as he started talking, he didn't have it in.
Oh man, that was funny. But yeah, was there anything else you guys kind of wanted to touch on? Wanted to open up the floor. I know we've been kind of going back and forth before we get into our not our review. My gosh, our ratings. Excuse me, it's been a long day. But was there anything else I wanted to pass it to Leo that you kind of wanted to touch on or talk about?
So Thunderbolts. It sounds like what was cool. We saw Thunderbolt Ross, y'all. Yeah, we saw Ross at the beginning. So I'm like, okay, is he Red Hulk? Like, I need the MCU to just please shine a light down and really reveal to us.
He's such an old actor.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know if I'm really down for that. Maybe they'll pull an MCU and make another character Red Hulk and she recruits him. I'm cool with that because I'm kind of like, he's older, you know.
I just don't know if he can physically do it. Like,
The CGI.
Well,
side.
I mean, with CGI, like,
yeah, if it's a full CGI Hulk, like that would make sense.
I'm like, somebody get what's J.K. Simmons in the spot?
Get Andy Serkis in there doing his motion capture.
Right. If we want an old man, get J.K. Simmons, bro.
Honestly,
He's buffed.
he is built like an ox.
But yeah, it sounds like the Thunderbolts have been around for a few years. Since that post-credit scene.
Yeah.
And Yelena is a member, which is also surprising.
Yeah, Yelena. We got John Walker. So those two are the confirms. Maybe Zemo.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah,
And then Red
definitely
Hulk.
Zemo.
Like I guess that would be the team is Lady Hydra, Madam Hydra, excuse me, Red Hulk, Yelena, John Walker, and Red Hulk.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be a cool little show, man. Like
They have it already.
anti-Avengers.
I like that.
And now apparently she's anti-Hawkeye. That's also a very interesting perspective because us as the audience, we know how that went down. Obviously, he didn't kill Natasha, but it's cool to see that the outside perspective is like what actually happened because they don't really know.
Yeah, that it's still funny to me. Like the picture that they used, it just cracked me up. It's
Right.
like
Jeremy Renner's just a walking meme. That's all it is.
it was just like him and his hawk. Oh, hey guys, what's going on? It's like an old school sitcom where they're going through the cast. They're doing something.
Candid.
Like, oh, hi. I didn't realize. Yeah. I thought it was going to be a picture of him and like his family or something. I'm like, no, it's
Right. It's just him walking. Like the hell?
I was like, where did you take this picture?
It's probably some random security camera.
Probably.
I want to know.
And it was
if-
frames.
I want to know if Madam Hydra disappeared during the snap.
Oh,
Maybe that's where
yeah.
she did all her planning when everything else was in the dumps.
Oh, I was going to say while she was snapped.
I was like, oh, shit.
Very impressive.
Right, because Spider-Man said it was all black and Homeboy is a superhuman, so that would be impressive as hell.
He's got spidey senses and he couldn't even see.
Yeah, she's just sitting there planning her demise, all dusted. She comes back. I've got it. No, yeah, that was great stuff. But I wanted to pass it over to Devin. Anything else you wanted to touch on before we get into ratings?
I think we covered a fair amount here. We got a lot.
Yeah.
We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess, Devin, we'll just start off with you. What would you give your rating of Black Widow?
I'm gonna go with a solid B plus, like an 80, 88, 87, somewhere around there. Just really enjoyable. As far as ranking amongst the rest of the MCU, I'd say like upper middle, if that makes sense. Like definitely not on the lower end, but somewhere around there.
All right. Leo, what about you?
Yeah, I'm sitting at a solid B, 80 out of 100, 8 out of 10. I was at an 8.5 right after. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I recorded my review and I was just, I was high on Marvel, okay?
Yeah,
But,
I saw it, man. You were going.
oh my gosh. Like, this movie is, and now I'm just kind of like, realistically looking back on it, it's about an 8 out of 10, high 7.5. I think it's middle of the pack Marvel. I think it's my rating is number 15. So it's about middle of the pack. But still a great outing. Still awesome. The action is great. I love the espionage that's incorporated into it. I love getting to actually finally explore a movie with Natasha at the forefront. We've been asking for this since Iron Man 2. So it is great to finally get it, even though it does feel a little late. Still great, man. I enjoyed it for what it was. And Florence Pugh, we are so happy to have you in the MCU. Happy.
Very, very happy to have her.
Thank you, Kevin Feige, for dropping the bag in her lap.
That's sweet Marvel cash.
Yes. 10-year contract, 10 movie contract.
Oh yeah, she'll be in it. And she's only like what, 24, 25. So like years for, as long as she wants to, or whenever her contract ends. But yeah, I'm actually sitting at a B plus as well, more of like an 87. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Marvel ranking wise, I actually think I put this as like number 10 or 11 in my MCU ranking. Like I really did. I just enjoyed it. Like it was like I've said, it's one of those perfect, like, middle of the pack movies where like it fits exactly where it belongs, because I've always wondered, like what did happen between the events of Civil War and Infinity War. Where were these characters? We know some of them were locked up per se, but like the ones that are on the run, like what have they been doing this entire time? So I'm glad we finally get to start to see that a little bit more. And I think they had said that there might, like, they keep using the word prequel, but I'm like, this is definitely not a prequel. It's just, but they're saying that there could be more returning characters, maybe within that time of either Infinity War and Endgame, and or between Civil War and Infinity War. I would like to see where some of them were, maybe get like an entire like jail like mini series or something, just like their days like locked up. I thought it'd be kind of funny. But yeah, definitely B+ for me in 87. And yeah, ranking in between, probably I think it's at number 10 right now in Letterboxd for my overall MCU ranking. But yeah, that pretty much concludes this portion of our podcast. We're actually going to dive in to our shorter segment here, which is more of, since we're halfway through the year, it is July, and we've seen a little bit more of a resurgence of movies as of late, especially after last year's dry spell, and kind of wanted to go around the show here and get everyone's top 5 movies of 2021 so far, starting with number 5. And Leo, I'll kick it over to you, and we'll try to do this in more of a timely fashion, so we're not,
Okay, I'll be kind of quick then.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
Number 5 for me is Raya and the Last Dragon. I still haven't seen Mitchell's vs. Machine, so that very well might change. I know, y'all, but I'm a little behind on a few. Because I've been having to cover Superman and Lois and Invincible, and I've had a couple other things. But Raya and the Last Dragon is, for me, sorry, Luca, it is the best animated picture of this year. Not sorry, that Studio Ghibli movie that came out earlier this year. Not sorry.
We don't talk about that, Leo. We just
but Raya and the Last Dragon was magical. It was fun. It was a great ride. I love Raya as a character, and I love that it made Raya a warrior. We weren't going on this love journey and she's got this romantic interest, even though people were speculating her and her best friend, which I kind of agree with. They weren't focusing on that. They weren't focusing on that romance. And I like that Raya was just the warrior, the centerpiece at the middle of the movie, who just drove this film through so much. And I like the other characters that were with her as well. And I love the camouflage and the whole lore and them coming together. The animation's beautiful as usual. And very excited for Encanto coming up in November.
Yes, so, dude. I need to listen to that soundtrack right now. I've been listening to In the Heights for weeks, like every day, pretty much like a song or two. It's all underneath my like repeat rewind. But let's kick it back over to Devin. What is your number 5 movie of 2021 so far?
Well, first I wanted to give an honorable mention to, I guess not technically a movie, but Inside by Bo Burnham. It had definitely production quality of a movie, I would say. But I love that one. The number 5, I'm going to throw in Black Widow. It sneaks in there.
There we go. I love it.
And we just talked a lot about it, so there's no real need to dive any deeper.
All right. So let's kick it back over to me. I'm going to go with A Quiet Place Part 2 as my number 5. Absolutely loved it. And it is just one of the most ultimate theatrical experiences I've ever witnessed. It's just the sound mixing and just the story itself. Like, I wish it was a little bit longer, but I'm interested to see what part 3 is going to bring. It definitely gave me The Last of Us part 2 vibes there a little bit, but it's just, I just love that game so much. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, like you had Emily Blunt, and of course, John Krasinski himself sneaks his way into his own movie, much like Lin-Manuel Miranda does with his own. But it was just, it was a great tale, and in ways I think I like it better than the first. But
nope.
Together, it's like you can't have one part without the other now, because part 2 literally leads off where part 1 left off. So it is this grander scaled story. But yeah, number 5 for me is A Quiet Place Part 2. So back to Leo. What is your number 4?
My number 4 is Cruella. I
Ooh.
absolutely loved the Emmas together. They are scene stealers, both of them. So when you have them on screen together, like, wow, they knock it dead. Emma Thompson is amazing in everything she's in, everything. Even if it's a bad movie, she's great. Emma Stone, great actress, but man, she really transformed here for Cruella. I mean, seriously put on this sinister act I've never seen her really put on before. She was incredible in the role, and not to mention the wardrobe, the fashion, the production design, the set. So immaculate, so good. Amazing needle drops. Like I watched Cruella about 3 or 4 times.
Did you really?
Yeah, with the screener.
Oh,
I went to see it
man,
in theaters.
Man. Honestly,
And I'm
gotta get used out of those screeners, to be honest.
I haven't seen it yet.
No, Devin is not.
Y'all getting on me about Mitchells versus the Machines.
Yeah.
All right now.
Oh man. All right. So Cruella is Leo's number 4. Devin, what is your number 4?
All right, this is kind of iffy, but I don't really care. I'm gonna count it. Promising Young Woman. I'm putting it in there. It was like December 2020, and then
I'll allow it because
digital release in January.
Yeah.
I'm counting it.
a lot of those, like even with The Father, like how long did it take for The Father to actually hit theaters? At least here in the U.S. But I'll allow that one. Promising a Woman.
Yeah. I mean, just great revenge movie.
Not the best cover art for the Blu-ray though. I was a little disappointed with that one. I was like, well, that's okay. Like usually I don't care too much about the Blu-ray cover art, but that one kind of just stuck out to me. My number 4 is Mitchells versus the Machines.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely loved it. I watched it for like a 4th time the other day when my parents were in town, and I just
Did you make them watch it?
My mom was kind of like, she was a little tired from like kind of sightseeing and stuff, but she was kind of like zoning in and out. But I just love this movie so much. Like
Lord and Miller do not miss.
They do not. It's just a bunch of weird, crazy humans just making a great product together, and just, man, I guess it's so relatable to us dealing with like technology and whatnot. But and of course, you know, Cate going to film school, but it was just a delight altogether, and I just absolutely loved it. Really hoping Netflix please put that on Blu-ray so I can own it one day. I think Umbrella Academy actually just started rolling out season 1 on Blu-ray as well. So that would be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I was like, okay, let's Disney Plus, let's get on it. Give us that Mandalorian, that WandaVision, that Loki. Let's go.
They have to.
Blu-ray.
They're not gonna not take that money.
Exactly. But let's head over to our number 3. Leo, back to you.
Oh, so I totally forgot about a certain movie, and oh my gosh, I'm looking at my list and I'm just like, oh no, I cannot believe I forgot this. So I am going to break the rules a little bit and do 2 number 3s.
Okay.
I am going with A Quiet Place Part 2 for my first number 3. A Quiet Place Part 2 is absolutely phenomenal. In my opinion, better than the first. I know a lot of people are not going to say that, but in my opinion, better than the first. I think it is a step up. It's like a stepping stone. It's the second act of the first movie, in my opinion. That's how it feels. I really like Krasinski, Emily Blunt, the 2 young actresses, the male and the female. They're great. They're amazing together. And I think that Cillian Murphy is a great fit in my opinion, to come in after John Krasinski. And I love that they did not decide to kill him, because I was just like, okay, is every matriarch-like figure going to get killed? No. So that's nice that they didn't go with the trope there. And then my other one is Demon Slayer Mugen Train.
That's what I'm talking about.
My God. What a freaking movie, y'all. Like this very well might be up there with this and Heroes Rising, My Hero Academia are the best anime movies I've seen in the past decade. Easily. Yeah. They are so damn good. And this one, we just finally get to explore a character who we kind of saw in the anime, and then finally we got to see Rengoku in action and glory and amazingness, and really set his heart ablaze and become the character that we really wanted to see. So I absolutely loved it, packed with emotion. so much amazing action, and yeah, I had to squeeze that on the list. I can't believe I forgot it.
You know, it's really funny you say that, Leo, because that is my number 3, and I think we need to pay our respects to Goku really quick. We'll miss you.
Rest in peace, Rengoku.
Yeah. Oh man, it was crazy. But yeah, so that is my number 3 as well, man. It was like you said, like it is a show, like I love it how it ties into the main story. It isn't just like a one-off kind of like Dragon Ball Z type thing. Like it's there. Like it is there to tell for the main story, and the ending just kills me. But it's just, oh man, it's so good. Anyway, since I already revealed my number 3, I'll kick it back over to Devin. What is your number 3 film of 2021?
Number 3, I'm going Judas and the Black Messiah.
Nice. Good stuff.
Just not even knowing who Fred Hampton was before this movie is both embarrassing for me and for the overall U.S. education system.
Yeah,
his story is just so important. I'm glad this movie told it.
Everybody, I was like, what is happening right now? And I've known of it, but I never really knew this much of detail. So I'm really glad that they were able to share that story with the world, because that is in my number. It's in my top 10 for 2021. But going back over to number 2 for Leo, what is your number 2?
Number 2 for me is In the Heights, y'all. Good morning, Usnavi.
Numero dos.
It is so good. Put $20 on today's lottery. Oh my God.
And just to save time, it's also my number 2.
Must be a lucky day.
So good. I mean, so good. The music, the acting, everything was just great. The set,
the perfect summer movie.
Perfect summer movie. Unfortunately, it's so sad to hear about the box office, what happened with that, but it's a musical. Those are always extremely hit or miss. So
yeah.
So wow, what a cool way for Latinx representation, bringing that on screen and really just giving us a perspective on a neighborhood that's not really talked about that much. Maybe it is. I'd
never heard of it before the movie.
Yeah, I'd never heard about Washington Heights. So cool to explore it. I know there's some backlash and some controversy, so I'm gonna stay away from that. But really, really awesome movie. Love the singing, love the acting. I've watched it 10 times now. I'm ashamed to admit that.
Okay, so Devin said In the Heights is his number 2. So my number 2, much like Devin's Bo Burnham, it's not necessarily a movie, but and I've been struggling going back and forth between my number 1 and number 2. Right now, I do have Billie Eilish's "The World's a Little Blurry" documentary. It is just like it's on Apple TV Plus if you haven't had a chance to watch it, but it's so raw, and it shows just everything that happens with any kind of celebrity, especially at a young age, as young as she is, going through fandom like this. How does she deal with it? The people who are surrounded through her, giving her the advice, like her parents actually being supportive, because you do have, unfortunately, some parents of rising stars that don't necessarily have the best interests in mind for their child. But it was just so raw of emotion, and I absolutely love Billie's music. And I'm not sure if you know this, Leo, but Devin and my mom share a birthday, and not only do they share a birthday, they share a birthday with Billie Eilish's father on yesterday. Yeah. Their birthday was yesterday. So
nice. Happy belated birthday, homie.
Thank you. Got that free popcorn and drink from AMC. I was living the life.
Kicking back in comfy.
Exactly. AMC always pulling through. But yeah, Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry. Definitely check it out. It's not your normal type of music documentary. It really does take you on her journey, kind of even her leading up to her dominating the Grammys a few years ago. But yeah, it's just a great time. I've seen it 3 times so far, and I just love every second of it. But let's kick it back over to Leo for his number 1.
All right, number 1 of 2021.
Black Widow. No, I was kidding.
Snake Eyes.
Man, right up my alley. No, guys, it's Thunder Force. Actually,
Oh,
my number one. Whew, that's the number one worst movie of the year. Judas and the Black Messiah.
Nice.
there we
Easily.
go.
I mean, everything's amazing. Kaluuya and his line delivery and just the script and Lakeith Stanfield is absolutely amazing. Everything about that movie was just phenomenal. The cinematography, the score, I could go on and on about it, but I'm gonna save us some time and just say that was easily my number one. And Daniel Kaluuya got the award he deserves.
Yes.
And forget you, Oscars. That does not make you exempt from the choice you made with Chadwick Boseman. So forget you.
That was so awful.
That was, man, I woke up halfway through. It had been a long day for me. And I just hear like this upbeat music. I'm like, oh, yeah, like what are they doing? It's In Memoriam. I'm like, oh, okay. And I thought that I missed, everything with best lead actor. And I was like, oh, they're doing it last. And I was like, oh, I'm like, wait, they've been building up Chadwick Boseman all week, all night. Like, what's going on? And that happened.
Yeah.
It was very, very unfortunate, but yeah, hopefully they'll do better. I don't think the Golden Globes are happening this year either. They disbanded for now, right? Or they're postponing it, something like that. I can't really remember. But anyway, let's get back on track here. Devin, what is your number one?
Numero uno.
Oh,
It broke my heart at the beginning of this ranking when Leo said he didn't see it. Mitchell's versus the Machines is my number one.
Yeah.
I laughed. I cried. I felt joy. It's just,
Dang.
it gave me everything I wanted.
I'm
I didn't even know I wanted it.
Like, Leo, it is, man. I mean, it would have been way better in theaters for sure. But
Oh yeah.
I'm glad that a lot more people are able to see it at home on Netflix. And I'm telling you, it was that I can rewatch that movie yearly. Like, that is a movie I can rewatch yearly, like 100%. And maybe we'll get a physical release. I don't know. They don't do too many of those for their properties anymore. So, not unless it's like more of like a multi-series type thing. But I don't know. It is what it is. But my number one, no surprise, it is In the Heights as of right now. It's so magical.
It is.
It
Really
like
nice.
I love the story, and like there's just so many messages within the songs, and like the soundtrack alone, just listening, it just makes me want to go back and watch this movie over and over and over. I think it is still on HBO Max for like the next 3 to 4 days. So I mean, I'm definitely picking this bad boy up on 4K like day one when it comes out. Because Lin is very he's killing it right now. He's got Tick Tick Boom coming out for Netflix. He's got that he's writing the songs for the trailer that just dropped today, Leo. Oh my god.
Oh, Encanto?
Yeah, Encanto. So
Yeah.
did he write the script, or is it just more of the music that he wrote?
I think he just did the music. So
Okay.
they're like, hey, he is keeping work, y'all. Like,
I
he
will
is
watch
killing
anything
it.
with him. Like anything attached, with his name attached to any projects, I will watch it 100% because I know it's going to be that good. Like just give it to me. But that trailer was looking good. I was like, okay, let's.
Even the song at the beginning, I was like, this is what is this? Y'all? Like, I just didn't expect that. Like, I literally clicked play on the trailer and it started. I was like, what? They really out here just killing it on these beats, y'all.
Really?
Like Lin-Manuel Miranda does not miss when it comes to music. He does not miss.
Does not.
Hamilton, Moana, this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In the
Moana. I
Heights.
forgot about
Moana
that,
is
yeah.
so good.
I'm ashamed to say, guys. I still
No,
have not
Leo,
seen it.
don't say
I have
it.
heard those songs though.
Okay. We'll give you a pass this time. You got some homework to do. Honestly, I
I
have
have some
homework to
animated
do.
homework to do.
I have some homework to do because I know Leo has been braving himself through Titan season 1 and season 2. So the least I can do is start Superman and Lois on the CW.
Oh my God! Well, you'll at least have a great time with Superman and Lois, because
How far are you? How are you still where you left off?
dude,
for
I'm
Titan?
on like episode 3. I'm struggling.
Woo. Season 2, like there are some good parts in it. It's just It's like what, 15 episodes long? I'm like,
Yeah, and episode 2 should have opened the season. They shouldn't
Yeah.
have done that with the cliffhanger thing and then having like the season 2 opener kind of close season 1 out. It's like, come on, guys.
they're
I
gonna
know
do
it
the
was an
same thing
accident with Doom Patrol, but
Yeah, they're gonna do the same thing with Doom Patrol because we technically never got the season finale of season 2, so that'll be the opener season opener for season 3 whenever that picks back up. Hopefully it's better than Titans. I'm like really praying because Doom Patrol is so good. But yeah, that pretty much concludes our favorite 2021 films of the year so far. And just wanted to give you guys one quick question. What's like one movie you guys are looking forward to? A non-Marvel movie that you guys are looking forward to for the rest of the year? Because we are
there's so much coming up. Yeah, I'm like,
especially
we
in
are
July.
packed here.
Especially in July.
Oddly enough, okay, I guess I'll do one that's coming out in July. I'm really looking forward to that Gunpowder Milkshake. I think that it could be Atomic Blonde levels of like really
The
good.
fact that they greenlit the sequel already means they are liking what they see.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes,
I don't know
sir.
though, because Old Guard, in my opinion, was meat deep ochre.
Yeah, I didn't like
Greenlit
Old
that
Guard either. But they greenlit it before it even came out, so that just shows how.
it's like, I love Charlize, and she was great. Best. Oh, and the co-star, the black girl, she was great.
Yeah.
I think everybody else, y'all just kind of wandering around.
I feel you on that one. Devin, really quick, what about you?
Space Jam, I guess that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Halloween Kills. I'm excited for that. I'm the horror fanatic here.
We're gonna have to review it here on the show because I'm like knee deep in Fear Street.
I'm also excited for Old, the Shyamalan twisty twist.
I maybe. Well, what was his last?
I
movie,
tend to like
Glass?
Shyamalan. Like I like more than I dislike.
Yeah,
After the last Airbender, I'm like,
that's what I'm saying, Leo.
You
like-
holding on to the grudge. I understand.
absolutely. And what was it? The Village, horrible ending. Another, what was another one?
Glass.
Glass was rough. Split was good. Split was cool.
Split was great.
That was
Unbreakable was
Unbreakable.
great.
Yeah.
But man, I'm like, how do you close it out with killing David Dunn like that?
He's
Like
gonna-
that
no.
just that
in a puddle. Come on, dude. He drowned in a
There's
puddle.
gonna be a fourth one called Crack.
head just dunked up. I was like, that wasn't even enough water to cover my feet, my guy. How the heck did he drown him? That was horrible.
They're gonna have a fourth movie called Cracked. It's gonna happen. If it does, I'm like, I called it. But man, so for me, a non-Marvel, because if it was Marvel, I would have honestly just said Spider-Man. But
Yeah, plenty to choose from there.
yeah, for sure. I'm actually gonna go with Dune. I'm just very, very excited. Like, I love Denis Villeneuve. Sci-fi. This is literally like Game of Thrones, but in space. It is. I'm so like the cast is stacked. I'm like, let's go. I'm just very, very excited to see this. I think there's like a few other movies coming out the same day because they get pushed to October, didn't it?
Yeah, last night in Soho didn't.
Oh, that
Dune
one
got
too.
pushed
Yes.
back a week. So last night in Soho
And
is
Fresh
going to dominate
Dispatch.
that week. I'm so excited.
I think it is. Yeah. And Fresh
Oh,
Dispatch.
Candyman.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
That was supposed to come out already, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out early. Unfortunately, the pandemic.
Well, I guess we'll have to cover more horror here on the show since I'm on this Fear Street train.
You gotta watch the original Candyman. It holds up. I think.
Does it? Do not watch the original Dune at all.
Oh, no.
No.
We
Read the
don't talk
book.
about that.
You'll have a better time. You will definitely have a better time. But that concludes today's show. Thank you both so much for coming on to the show here. And just, you know, we always have a good time on the show, you know, when Leo comes on. It's been a while since Leo's been on the show. And I actually wanted to give him a chance to let our audience know what's coming up on his channel where they can find him on the internet.
Oh, appreciate that, bro. It's always a great time talking with you guys. Thanks again for having me. Coming up, first and foremost, let me back up, y'all. What's up? Follow me on YouTube at Geekly Goods, and then on TikTok and Instagram at Leo.Rydell, Twitter at Leo Rydell. I'm trying to fix that and get some kind of universal at, so stay tuned. But coming up on the channel, we got a lot of goodies, y'all. A lot of geekly goodies. On Tuesday, we will be back for our live stream, Gigi and Friends. And we've got more content. Loki's coming up, the finale of Loki. We've got Space Jam 2 coming up. So guys, stay tuned because there is a lot of goodies coming. And I'm starting a couple little series, so you might see some reactions for some anime coming soon. So stay tuned.
Oh, we got that SH is coming out soon, isn't it? Here in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta figure out some way to watch, because I didn't know how oh my gosh, Ren was watching it. I was like, oh, and he had told me with his friend and his Japanese connections. I gotta respect the game for sure. He's
homie gamed him a little connection.
Like, I'm like, oh, he's like actually doing that. I was like, well, maybe he'll do it. I'm like, oh no, he's doing week to week. Okay, let's go. So I'm very, very excited for that to come out. But yes, Ed, as always, you can follow us here on the not the channel, excuse me, on the podcast. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Film Optix. That is Optix with an X. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I believe by the time this is out, go ahead and check out our Loki episode 5 reviews, because that will be out by the time this is up. And we are also going to be covering Fear Street, doing separate episodes for that. Devin and I have already covered part 1, which will be dropping on this Sunday, the 11th, and Amanda from AMX NDA Reviews, I think I said that right, will be joining us for part 2, 1978, this Sunday, and that will be dropping on Tuesday of this week. And part 3, TBA, until we watch it. But yeah, again, thank you so much, Leo, for coming on. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show, and it's been a great time. So, and of course, we also have our Loki episode, our episode finale review dropping next Thursday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Really interested to see how everything kind of just pans out. Like I'm not ready for the journey to be over, but it's like 6 episodes just doesn't feel like enough, but we've gotten so much so far. But again, thank you all for listening, and we will see you guys next time. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you all for listening. And if you enjoy the show, we greatly appreciate it if you can leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, and follow us on Twitter at Film Optix, that is Optix with an X, to stay in the know. That was Devin. My name is Christian, and we'll see you guys in the next one.